And here we are, dude. Welcome. How you doing, X?
Good to see you
Good to see
again.
you, fellas.
I love that
Way
intro.
too long. Well, I mean, I seen you already the
Yeah.
other night.
That intro never gets old. I love that. Who was that band? They kind of sound like Rage Against the Machine.
No, that was the whole intention on that. On the DX song.
Right.
They were. Hunter was like, "Hey, you ever hear Rage Against the Machine? That's how we want it to sound." And
Yeah.
back then we weren't like the product hadn't like.
Right.
Gone through the fucking roof yet, so
Right.
Rage Against the Machine wasn't really gonna,
They weren't gonna do that.
run to come do our theme song. So we had to get someone that sounded like,
Yeah,
But it ended up being a fucking.
They
heavy
nailed it.
song.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they nailed that shit.
I don't think those guys have ever done anything since, but
Right.
That was a good first look. They should have capitalized on it.
and that song there, like I didn't like it. I like to go out to the regular DX theme song, but that one actually started growing on me.
Right,
so
right,
fuck
right.
it.
You're like, all right, I like it now after hearing it
Man,
times.
you guys were talking about Game of Thrones, and I've been out here all week, so I fucking forgot it was the season finale,
You just
man.
heard all the smoke.
Yeah, I just heard everything, man.
That's great. Yeah, seeing you, man. You're kind of limping around. I mean, I know you're gonna get better. What happened? You're still wrestling, dude. What's
Yeah,
going
you're
on?
fucking right. I just I was in this thing called the Red Carpet Rumble for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood.
Right.
So I figured it'd be somewhere near fucking Hollywood.
Right.
I was inviting my friends to come and everything. but
Right.
It was like an hour and a half north of here to find out.
Right.
But like Jake the Snake was there.
Fuck yeah.
Some people like that watch TNA and all that.
Right.
They might know AJ Styles.
Yeah, I know AJ
like
Styles
that,
for
yeah.
sure.
It was a really good show, and I was the people were really fucking kind to me, man. So
That's
I was
cool.
really wanting to go out there and work hard for
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And a guy gave me a backdrop over the top rope, and I came down on I just hyperextended my knee basically. I can't afford it, man, because the other one's already fucked. So.
You're like, fuck, man.
And I'm working every week, so.
Right.
You know, people think I hear people saying like, "Hey, when you gonna come back to wrestling?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you mean, man? I'm wrestling every week."
That's great. So back in the day and shit, you know, you started out in smaller leagues and shit and worked your way up through all the shit. I remember watching you. What was it like just going through the ranks and finally, you know, making it to like the bigger events?
Well, I'll tell you this story. I remember when I got the call to even just come in for a tryout.
Right.
And I had already had that stuff. I don't know if you guys ever saw that Global Wrestling Federation on ESPN stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was where I got my first like national exposure.
Right.
But I had a tryout in WCW, and like the very next day, new management came in, so I was fucked there. But I was running this show in Minneapolis, and like Road Warrior Hawk was wrestling Terry Funk.
Nice.
I was wrestling Sabu.
Right.
This was before ECW or any of that shit. Taz was on there.
Wow.
Fucking Jerry Lynn and Chris Candido.
Wow. That's like most of the ECW roster.
Right. So I'm on the phone with a friend of mine, and I click over, and it's Sergeant Slaughter, and he's telling me he wants me to come in for a tryout, and I'm still not putting two and two together because I never thought I would get a fucking call from them, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, so I'm like, can you hold for a second? And I click over, and I'm like, hey, fucking Sergeant Slaughter's on the other line. I wonder who's running TV, like, fucking the one having me come to a tryout. So I just kept bullshitting for about 3 minutes. And then I click back over, and then I realized that they want me to come have a tryout for WWF, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're
And,
like, fucking, this is it.
yeah, man. And then I got there, and they actually let me pick my opponent, thank God, because if I would have ended up with Virgil,
Yeah, I remember.
fuck,
Virgil.
bro, I
Ted
would have
DiBiase
never
guy.
got a job, man.
Right. So who'd you pick?
Some people
Louis
didn't-
Piccoli, that guy Louis Piccoli.
Yeah.
Because some people don't know
May
how to
rest
work
in peace.
together, right?
Fuck, no.
get hurt.
Plus, they don't want. It's not in. Virgil don't want nobody else to get a job.
Right.
You know, just using him for an example. I mean,
Right,
those guys that are underneath there that they would use at that time, you know, to have tryout matches with guys, it's not in their best interest to make that guy look good to get a job.
Right. So they're not going to go all out for
Yeah.
you, and you're just going to, your tryout's going to look shitty, and then no one's going to want you to put
Yeah, my tryout was up the chain, man.
Was it?
Yeah. I was scared shitless too, man.
Really?
Yeah. And then they called me, and then Vince calls me like, I don't know, 6 weeks later, and runs a whole fucking idea of the 1, 2, 3 kid beating Razor Ramon angle by me.
Wow.
Right,
And
right.
he's like, "Does that sound good to you?" Like, are you serious? Fucking,
You're like,
yeah.
That must have made you fucking like trip out.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, cause I mean that was my dream, man.
Yeah.
Fucking growing up.
Was that
like,
how you met
From 10 years old.
was that how you met Razor Ramon?
I met him before that through Kurt Hennig because I was in Minnesota. Me and Kurt were friends. You know?
Right, because I just seen how tight you guys were, especially with the whole NWO movement and everything. It's just like you could tell you guys were like homies.
Oh, fuck
You know,
yes.
it wasn't like some shtick where like
Kurt-
when the cameras are off, they all go this way. You could tell you guys kicked it.
Yeah, well, pretty much the whole clique was influenced at one point by Kurt Hennig
Really?
when all of us were younger. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
Perfect.
except for Triple H because he came along a little bit after the whole clique thing
Right,
started. you
right,
know?
right, right.
But
It was still cool. That's cool too, because you had the opportunity to be in with both.
yeah,
The
man,
NWO
and
and DX.
And DX, yeah.
Yeah, he's the
that's
only one.
sick.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Well, Rick Rude did too,
Rude.
but
Did he
you know
really?
he's no longer with us either.
man.
Oh, so he did both too.
Well, yeah. This was crazy, right? It was right after the Bret Hart Shawn Michaels screwed when they
Vince
fucked
screwed
Bret.
me. Yeah.
So that was they actually.
Yeah, Rude got pissed and left, and that was when Vince was doing tape shows.
Yeah.
So Rude was on 2 TV shows at the same fucking time.
No way.
Wow, amazing.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That's great. What was it like though, as far as what would you say the comparisons were with like the whole NWO movement? Because the NWO movement to me was like the first time on a mass audience that it was like everybody was rooting for the bad guys.
Well, it was
Kinda
because
changed shit.
and this is just the truth of the matter. It was because, I mean, first of all, it was cool as shit.
Right.
And we were tapping into, like, that gangster mentality.
Totally.
You know?
The anti-hero.
Right. And the main reason we were getting cheered was because none of their baby faces meant anything anymore.
Right, right.
None of their good guys, nobody gave a fuck about Hulk as a good guy anymore. Sting,
Right.
Lex, none of those guys. They were all dead in the fucking water, man. And that's the truth of the matter.
Right. It's just the guys just dominating.
Yeah, so we had to go and just run through everybody for a good solid 6 months before somebody got to us, and it was DDP.
Yeah.
You know, and then we started building the guys back up.
Yeah.
And fucking next thing you know, Lex Luger's hot again.
Yeah.
Sting is white
the
hot.
chart, fucking
And the
with this crow stick.
Right, and all he's doing is showing up once a week and fucking lowering down from the rafters. Yeah, what a gig he had.
He had the gig, huh?
Boy, he had some heat. He had some heat with the boys that were on the road every night. I'll
Right,
tell
like
you that.
motherfucker, you didn't have to do shit tonight.
Yeah,
Right.
like you think he had it the easiest, huh?
Yes.
Fucking
He didn't have to put in the work you guys were.
No, and you know what? I mean,
They had it crazy for all
people
trash
were-
being thrown at you guys and shit.
Yes,
like,
and they allowed it to happen. They allowed it to happen.
that's crazy.
Do you remember that redneck cop they used to have on there called Doug Dillinger?
Yeah.
He was a Charlotte PD.
He was
guy.
like a prison guard cop
Yeah,
type
man.
character, right?
Yeah, well, he came up and told us one time, yeah, we could stop them from throwing shit at you. It's just that they said it looked good on TV.
You're like,
And I'm like, fuck that, you know. We're all like,
They were
that shit was fucking hurting us, man.
For real.
They would throw chairs in the ring too. Man.
Fuck everything. Spark plug, darts, fuck you name it, man.
Batteries.
Like you guys are robots and shit.
People were literally thinking when they were coming to wrestling, we got to go to the store and buy some shit to bring to wrestling to throw at the ring. Like that thought it was part of the show now, you know?
That's fucking insane.
Crazy, man.
What do you think about like now when wrestling like characters like you know, the John Cena and the Wyatts and the Shield and
The
all
Wyatts are hot right now.
that. The Wyatts are hot. I'll give them that. But you know what I like about the Wyatts? They're Bayou characters and
Yeah.
shit. That hasn't been done in a minute.
And the rhetoric, man.
Yeah.
The fucking rhetoric is heavy, bro.
Yeah, it's
They have
great.
good promo skills.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because other groups try and start, and you just start thinking, well, it's been done already. You know, the NWO did it. DX used to do this.
Yes, and that was the
you're not
thing
you're
about
not
you
shocking
guys.
anybody. You know.
You guys all had like great promos and shit. When you guys got on that mic, you knew how to fucking like captivate the motherfucker.
Yeah, I like the Pac with DX though was great because DX were more like the prankster bunch, clowning, dude. They would clown you, dude. That like comedy where they clown your ass. Shawn Michaels.
Pissing in somebody's
Yeah.
boots or
Yeah.
fucking on their motorcycles.
Yeah, yeah, shit like
Getting bitches to pull their shirts
Yeah,
up. Oh, did I
exactly.
say bitches? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that disrespectfully, ladies.
We're unfiltered here.
Had the whole suck it, the whole suck it.
Suck it,
logo.
suck it, suck it, fuck it. Fuck,
Yeah,
fuck, fuck.
right. Fucking that was the shit. What about? I wanted to ask, how cool was it when you guys invaded? What was it?
Yeah.
WCW
Yeah. That's
with the tank.
Yeah.
well.
remember
There's a
seeing that.
countdown. You guys ever watch the network?
Yeah.
The WWE network?
Yeah,
It's
I watch
fucking
it.
sick.
I love it, dude.
It's like for a wrestling fan,
It's
It has
the
everything.
greatest thing of all time.
Right.
And they have these countdown shows where they have like the greatest, factions, the greatest
Right.
this, the greatest moments,
Right.
and
Everything fucking
like
wrestling.
that thing. that invasion when we
Yeah, I
invaded,
watched
I
that
think that was
segment.
like number one or something.
Yeah.
It was either like number one or number two.
Right, yeah, it
it
was
was
up there.
definitely number one for me.
It had never been done. Just
They were near. They were like 45 minutes away from us.
Right.
So we hauled ass over there, did that shit,
Right.
came back, actually got in the building,
right.
but we did all this other bullshit first, and they knew we were here. So
Right.
when we came down the ramp, they had time to shut the door.
Right.
Oh,
to
wow.
open up.
So
We're here.
whose idea was it?
It was fun. You know what? I think it was Hunter's idea, actually, to be honest with you, because he just jokingly said because they were so close to us, because
Right.
they used to just for the sake of fucking with WWF,
Right.
they would
Book
like
it,
run
book your
right down
show.
the street,
Right.
or if there was a pay-per-view, they would have a free wrestling show on TV.
Here's where you guys are on the ramp.
Oh yeah, that's when we're going on the ramp.
I love it. You guys got an intercom.
And we got a Howitzer cannon on the fucking Jeep. Hampton, Virginia. That was the time.
Let these fuckers
Right.
Right. Whatever you
Right.
do,
And really, the best thing they could have done was let
let
us
us in. It would have changed
Yes.
everything.
It would have changed the whole scope of everything.
Right.
Hey, you know what else I wanted to bring up was your boy Scott Hall being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, man.
Big night. I
Yeah.
noticed everybody was there. How cool was that?
Our boy Shiki behind the board, that's like one of his.
That's one of his favorite
Oh,
wrestlers.
nice, man.
favorite guys.
Yeah, and how was that night? That's
It was
the
an
real shit to
incredible night.
wrestlers, is it not?
Yeah, and the cameras followed us around all day because it was the first time in like 13 years, like the whole like clique for
I
anybody
know, I
that
was
knows
tripping
about
on
that was all together in one place, and like for a while, man, we didn't think Scott was gonna make it, man.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And DDP went down and like lit a
Hooked that
fire
all up,
under his
really?
ass because Kevin Nash and I, we kind of threw our hands up because we didn't know what else to do, man.
Right.
Right.
But
And
man, he
DDP
pulled
went
it
over
out of
that.
that, man. He kicked
Wow.
out, man. Scott kicked out,
of it,
and
yeah.
he got his hip replaced, and he got a lot of his personal issues under control,
Right.
and
He looked great.
Yeah, man. The people wanted
Yeah.
to see that.
Oh, when he rolled up, there's a picture right there of you guys. The night of it. That pretty cool. He looked fantastic. It was just perfect though. When he walked up, before he said one word, he goes, "Hey yo," and everybody in the place just knew. Here we go.
And then he as he's walking out, he throws the toothpick at the camera.
Yeah, it's fucking great, dude. Good shit. Good for him.
That was always a cool thing when he was
It was an amazing. It was really cool to see him get the recognition from the company.
Yeah.
Because they left on bad terms, kind of, you know.
Right.
And you know. That company at times in the past, and I have a legend deal with them,
Right.
and that, and you know, half the shit I say, they could probably fire me for, so I don't even care at this point. But there's that one time, like when they put that Ultimate Warrior video out,
Yeah.
it was really a one-sided video, and it was really everybody hammering Warrior, you know?
Right.
And, you know, a lot of that shit was true. Warrior was like he was a motherfucker to deal with at times.
Wow.
And he was selfish, but kind of you got to be kind of in that industry, you know?
Exactly.
So it was nice to see them show Scott, you know, that kind of respect and acknowledge it and let him go out there and
do
say
his
that
thing.
to the
Right.
people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
We got a DVD coming out. Like we're putting it together. We still got to shoot some more footage, like a click documentary.
Oh, that'd be fucking awesome, dude.
Oh man,
I can't wait to see that.
Those fans would go nuts for that shit right there.
Hey, what would you say throughout your years of wrestling? It doesn't have to be one moment. You can bring up a couple heads. Who was like on the real one of the craziest fucking wrestlers you ever met or knew? Right? Or maybe one of the. Because I think one of the craziest wrestling moves ever done. I always think like, all right, you threw fucking Mick Foley off the top of a cage. That was fucking gnarly. But who was really crazy?
New Jack, man.
Fucking
New Jack.
ECW.
Yes.
You'd like to take the fucking fall.
Yeah, man. He threw this fucking guy off of this 30-foot high scaffold at the Olympic. After he tased him for real, he shit canned him up the top of the scaffold. The guy almost missed the tables, and it almost killed him.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. That's pretty crazy.
Knock you ever seen somebody take?
What's that?
Was that
the gnarliest one you've ever
worst
seen?
ever.
Oh man.
Ever.
What's
Yeah, New Jack was no joke.
What's the worst one you ever took?
Ooh, man. I think it was doing a dive off, like I was in Germany, and I was diving out of Hakushi.
Okay.
And like the rail, I guess, was too close to him, and he kind of bailed on me, bro, and I fucking landed right on my head.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the first time I broke my neck.
Oh, no way. You've had a fucking broken neck.
Twice.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I got the fifth and sixth vertebrae fused together.
Fucking dude, you're crazy.
It's not that uncommon, to be honest. I mean, seriously.
Really?
No, really.
I mean, you know, motherfuckers flying off the top rope in cages and shit, you know, it's gotta happen.
Wow.
You guys just don't show it when you're out there. I guess probably because
it's the adrenaline. You know this. You know the deal, man.
Do you see that a lot in wrestling? Like, you know, they do the match, it's great. They get backstage, and then like an hour later, they're like, "Fuck, dude, my arm."
Like, have you ever been? This is a stupid question because I'm sure you have, but been sick or just feeling under the weather before you're set.
Right.
But then when you get out there and they're fucking going crazy and getting with everything.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're fucking feeling good, right?
Yeah, it's the same shit. It's the adrenaline that keeps you going.
That's true. Then you go backstage, you chill out, and fucking you feel like shit again.
Yeah, well, because you leave it all out there, man.
Yeah.
Like you guys do. You empty the tank and you leave everything out there.
That's sick.
For the people.
Yeah,
Good shit, man. We're hitting that 5 o'clock mark. Well, what do you want to do? Be real?
Word, man. Shit.
Just chilling here with X-Pac. So, hey, man, what do you got going on? Anything going on in the future? Any gigs you want to tell anyone about? Or
not right now, man. Just I'm doing the legend. They're doing the stuff.
That network is fucking huge. I do like that network a lot. Dude.
Yeah. There's a lot. Like I'm on a lot of the network's original shows.
Nice.
And the countdown shows and all that.
Sweet.
And,
Oh, that's cool.
And I was doing a radio show down in Tampa called Cowhead Show.
Right.
Now I'm in Philly though, so I gotta.
Oh, that's good. I gotta remember that. So next time we're in Philly, we'll give you a call.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, good. I appreciate you coming.
Hey, do these people know that you're the audio, like you on the gunslingers thing, man? The Wolfman Jack.
B's got new ones. If you like that one, he's got some new ones you got here, man.
Yeah,
Jack of all trades.
They're the best mixtapes out there, bro.
Good.
Word up, man. We want to thank our man X-Pac for coming through, chopping it up right here on the Dr. Greenthumb show. He'll be back.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Video's gonna. Yeah, Shicky's gonna roll a video. We're gonna roll it with that shit.